Shakuni, his uncle, entered the palace as an advisor, as a minister. You should know something about Shakuni as to how he became a Shakuni. Because today, in India, if you utter the word Shakuni, nobody thinks it's a name, it is a quality of deceit, a slime ball of a man. But how does somebody become a slime ball? Shakuni is Gandhari's brother. When Gandhari was married to Dhritarashtra, when the marriage party came to Hastinapur, and after the marriage is over, Bhima realized that Gandhari is technically a widow. And people started talking, the king has married a widow. Technically, she married a goat, you remember. So, Bhima got so angry that the Kuru clan has been deceived like this. So he put Gandhari's father and all her brothers under house imprisonment. Kind of too much hospitality, where somebody even closes the door and opens the door for you, or rather doesn't open it for you, just closes it for you. Just made to feel like guests, not made to feel like prisoners, just guests. But you know, like the Hotel California, that kind of guests. The law or the dharma of the day was such, the bride's family, when it comes for the first time to the house into which the girl is married, as long as they're being well treated, they cannot walk away. So they were being served. And slowly, the quantum of food kept on receding, but they're still being served. So they cannot leave, they cannot say, we want to go, because they're still being served. But the quantum of food kept on receding to a point where it just became a morsel a person. So slowly, they all started depleting because there's not enough food, but they're being served, great hospitality. It is like, you know, today if you go to the large hotels, a huge amount of cutlery comes, but if you open it, the food is only this much. So that kind of hospitality, but they're still technically being served, so they cannot go away. After some time, everybody became all bones, the father and all the brothers. Then among themselves they decided, if we live like this, it's obvious they want to kill us. But they're still serving us, we can't leave, this is our dharma. We can't go away, our daughter is here. So among themselves they decided, let us fast, all of us. Let one of us, who is the most intelligent, eat all the food and survive and take revenge on these people who are killing us softly. So among themselves, all of them decided to fast themselves to death and gave all their food to Shakuni. So as his brothers and his father were dying, Shakuni ate the food in front of them. As his brothers died one by one, it is said his father encouraged him to eat the organs of his brothers so that he becomes strong and lives. But as the brothers die, with a single purpose that when it is time he must go out and take revenge. So he can leave. When his father dies, he has to do karma for him, for the dead father. At that time he can say, I want to leave, because my father is dead, I have to do karma in my land. So father said, when I die, you can leave. Till then you eat the organs of your brothers. So he sat there, cut open their bodies, ate up their livers and kidneys and hearts, and lived strong. Then the time of his father came. Then the father took from the bed in which he was lying down, dying, he took his walking stick and whacked Shakuni on his ankle and cracked it. Shakuni screamed in pain and asked why. His father said, "I have broken your leg so that you always limp and never forget why you were fed. Why you were fed with your brothers' bodies. You never forget. Every time you limp, you know why you're limping, and you must live for revenge and revenge only." And his father died, and Shakuni left with a single purpose of destroying the Kuru house. And he came back as their minister, and he found appreciation and friendship with Duryodhana. Duryodhana thought he is the most brilliant advisor because Shakuni always had a way with everything. And when his father died, he said, "When I die, you cut my fingers. You take my fingers and make dice out of this. You know, the rolling dice. And with the necessary occult power, I will make sure these dice roll just the way you want it. Nobody can ever beat you in a dice game, and this will come in handy for you someday." So he cut the fingers of his father, made dice out of it and kept it with him. Armed with his dice, he went out to conquer the world. He was not a fighting man, he was plump of body, soft, but he was armed with his occult power dice, that with this he believed that he is going to conquer the world. He found favor with Duryodhana because Duryodhana's emotions were poisoned with hatred and jealousy, and Shakuni had enough ways to nourish poison, and he nourished this continuously. Duryodhana is an angry man, not very deceitful. He will burst out with his emotions, he will speak out his heart. In fact, his heart is hanging out too often for a king. So when Duryodhana spoke like this, just for you to understand the mindset of Shakuni, when Duryodhana speaks out in front of his father, expressing himself, Shakuni tells him, "Duryodhana, God gave speech to man not to express himself, but to hide what is in his mind." That is Shakuni. So with this kind, he nurtured the poison in Duryodhana's heart and made sure every cell in Duryodhana's heart, in his body, became venomous. What was in one place, he made sure every cell in his body became venomous. He continuously nurtured this. Now, Shakuni told Duryodhana, there is no point. If you have an enemy, pinching him, biting him, spitting on him, this is all ways of the fools. The moment you recognize somebody as your enemy, you just kill him. Anything short of that is the way of the stupid. Because if you pinch your enemy, if you abuse your enemy, if you do this and that with your enemy will grow stronger. Your enemy's heart will become stronger, and probably you will be the one who will die, not him.